Hello, welcome to General Anatomy and Physiology. My name is Kevin Yoakum, and I will be your instructor this semester. I wanted to go through a couple of the basics of Blackboard and how to navigate, and a few course expectations as well. Now, before we get going, I want to welcome all of you back to school. It's been a long break. Some of you, this may be your first semester at Gateway, so welcome to Gateway if that's the case. And the rest of you, of course, welcome back. So I know circumstances being what they are, you maybe thought you would be taking an anatomy and physiology course in a face-to-face setting or a laboratory setting. Pardon me. Unfortunately, again, circumstances being what they are, we are not able to meet in person. However, that certainly doesn't mean that you're not going to get a really heavy exposure to anatomy and primarily anatomy, a little bit of physiology, but we're going to focus primarily on the structural aspects. So having said that, if this is your first time taking an online course, I completely understand that there is going to be possibly some anxiety that goes along with that. Even if you've taken an online class, I think there's naturally some anxiety that goes with taking certainly anatomy and physiology. But I'm here to help all of you with whatever it is that you need to get the information into your brains and usable for and applicable for the future. So a lot of what we discuss, I will discuss it as it applies to your use in the field and as we apply it to building a foundation towards understanding physiology or the functional aspects, which many of you will be taking advanced A&P either this summer or next fall. So anyhow, so please, if you have any questions or are feeling anxious or nervous or unsure of what to do or where to go or how to do anything, please email me and we can set up a Zoom meeting. We'll get it figured out. I respond very quickly to emails. That's the best way to get a hold of me. So again, if you're ever stumped or unsure, please email me and we'll get everything straightened out. So, so let's get to it. Let's look at Blackboard a little bit, kind of see what's going on there and how to navigate it again. Some of you, this may be your first course and first use of Blackboard. So even if you've used Blackboard, some of what I do may be slightly different. So I do want to give you a little bit of a tour and show you around. So anyway, the first tab is going to be the announcements tab. You're going to have kind of an ongoing log throughout the semester of all of the announcements that I send. So the oldest ones will be at the bottom. But, sometimes there are quick links in there that you may be looking for. Those will be always under the announcements. The announcements also go out to you as emails. So anyway, the announcements are the same announcements that you receive in your email. They're logged there. The welcome video, I put the one in from last semester because it does pertain to a lot of what's going on this semester. It'll be replaced with this one. So certainly this video, if you're watching it, will be found under welcome video. It'll also be found in my YouTube channel, as well as as a link in the announcements. So anyhow, if you're watching this and hearing this, you've somehow accessed it. So kudos to you. Good work. All right. So the syllabus, this is an area that generally students stop at the beginning of the semester. maybe kind of forget about it. And then yeah, at the end of the semester, they may check it out again. But it's always there. It's a hyperlink that'll take you out to a Google Doc. And I use Google Docs for a lot of items. So it seems to be compatible with your phones or tablets or just about any program. If you're using Mac or Apple, it works for that as well. So anyhow, just kind of the basics of what's going on. It's we're in the spring, believe it or not, 2021. We started on the 19th. We'll go until April 26th, at midnight, April 26th into April 27th, which that's a Monday into a Tuesday. The course will be closed. So you'll want to make sure you have everything completed by April 26th. Again, the delivery method is exclusively online. It's what we call asynchronous, so we don't have any set meeting times. If you do need assistance and you do need to meet live with me in Zoom, certainly send me an email and we'll get a time figured out. Or you can Wednesdays between noon and 5 are a great time if you're available then to shoot me an email and we can meet. But I have a fairly open schedule the rest of the week too. So if later in the day is better for you, that's fine. Just again, don't hesitate to email me. I can jump on Zoom and we can get you straightened out if you need assistance. Okay, and the link to the Zoom room is both of them are in here. It's going to take you. They're the same links that are in Blackboard as well. Okay, you have my email address there, and that's my office phone, which again, I'm not in my office that terribly much, so email is definitely the way to go. And again, office hours are Wednesdays from noon to 5, and certainly by appointment. So again, pretty open for helping you guys out because again, I understand A&P is tough to begin with. Having it kind of on your own and the internet and the ether can seem a little daunting. So I will be doing weekly videos. So every Wednesday, I'll be doing a video and kind of touching base and communicating with you that way as well. So anyway, the course description really goes through what we're going to be doing this semester in a nice tidy little paragraph. Basically, we just go through the structural aspects of the human body. So we'll look at the microstructures and we'll work our way up to looking at the macro or the large scale organs. We're going to go system by system. So basically, you're trying to build a good foundation. So when we get to advanced A&P next semester, you will find it to be a little bit smoother sailing. So, so anyhow, the required text, and we'll take a peek at those in just a few minutes, but the hyperlinks are here. The OpenStax open resource free textbook is what we use, but there are many, many textbooks. If you desire a physical hard copy of an anatomy and physiology text, you can certainly go on to Amazon or eBay and find I would recommend anything by Patton, Patton. An 8th or 9th edition. You could even a 10th edition you may find on Amazon for 10 to $30. So, if you really want a hard copy, that's one way you could go. You can always, I think Amazon rents hardcover textbooks. So there are a lot of ways to access text if you desire a hard copy. Now, having said that, anatomy and physiology is not any different from author to author or from book to book, so feel free to really use any resource available. A lot of my students in the past have found YouTube videos to be more helpful than anything. A lot of students find that they really desire and like a hard copy. Some students really like note cards. So there are boxes of anatomy, physiology flashcards that you can purchase. We have them at the bookstore at Gateway too, but also on Amazon and eBay, you can find boxes of kind of like flashcards. So um, there are anatomy coloring books that students find to be extremely helpful as well. It just kind of depends on what kind of learner you are and what your style is. Again, if you're used to having a textbook in your hands, I recommend going on to Amazon, typing in anatomy physiology textbook, look for Patton or Marieb, Marieb. There's Martini is excellent as well. There's one called Holes, Holes. So they're they're not, most books are not much different from author to author. So that's all I'm trying to say. So don't feel like you're boxed in with the open stacks. All right. And then visible body, courseware, and apps. That's probably something that's completely new for all of you. So I'll take you on a tour of that as well. And again, it looks like, gosh, about over half of you, 15 or so of you out of 24 have already signed up into visible body. So if you have yet to attain your visible body code, please do that soon. And if you do have it, but you're having trouble accessing visible body, again, please let me know. Go back into the announcements. There are a couple of links in the announcements that'll help you kind of start your visible body access. So, but I'm going to go through visible body a little bit today. Not a heck of a lot, just kind of, because again, some of you still don't have access to it yet, but I do want to kind of show you a couple things. And then again, every Wednesday I'll have a video. So we'll be looking at visible body a little bit every week. So, and again, there's no attendance required. This is asynchronous. So the only attendance you need to do is, I would recommend logging into our course in Blackboard at least once a day, if not, every other day. So you stay on track that way. All right, so we'll look at visible body here in a few minutes, and then we have the course outcome summary. I'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. That's back in Blackboard as well, but there's a hyperlink for that. Career competencies, again, basically the courses you take are to prepare you for the workforce and to be able to apply your knowledge of anatomy and physiology into the medical field, into the healthcare field. So basically we're talking about application of the information. So we approach, the approach is a little different maybe than you're used to with certain courses, whether from other colleges or from high school, or just your kind of perception of what to expect out of your courses. At Gateway, again, we really emphasize application of the information. So it's not just take a bunch of quizzes and tests and hope that it stays in there. We're really trying to expose you to as much information as we can that you're going to be able to use in the field, because anatomy and physiology especially is extremely broad and massive. I've been at this as a college professor since the year 2000. So this is my 21st year teaching anatomy and physiology to college students. And I'm still learning too. It's a lifelong process. So don't think that in 15 weeks of doing anatomy and physiology that you're just not ever, you're not getting it. You're every little bit that you do, every bit that you go through and retain and use and see over and over through repetition. It becomes a part of your life. So just take it, pace yourselves. Don't get too over bored with pessimism or negativity, because again, if that ever comes in, send me an email and we'll get you off the ledge. Okay. So anyway, just some of the gateway stuff there. Course conduct. Again, this is asynchronous, so there really isn't anything as far as like, etiquette in the Zoom room. If you come in for office hours, obviously, traditional, normal etiquette, professional etiquette that we would have in a face-to-face setting applies here as well. Now, plagiarism and cheating and, you know, uh, again, the rules apply across the board at Gateway. If you're ever unsure, oh, this is what I need to fix. Let me take this out of here because this is incorrect. There we go. All right. So yeah, that little bit is from last semester. We don't meet synchronously. So I wanted to, get that out of there. So yeah, you probably won't see that. Some of you maybe notice that. I know one or two of you emailed me asking about our Tuesday, Thursday night classes. They are not happening. Okay. So unfortunately, but again, if you want to meet in Zoom, just let me know and I'll help you out. All right, so grading policy, the upper points limit, the course is set up to be out of 1,100 points. So the A range is 1023 to 1,100, and then so on down the line. I think all of you need to be in the B range, or at least around there. So you're looking at around 900 points out of 1,100 is really going to be where you're going to want to go. You're going to have 5 units. So how do you get to 1,100? That's what this section here is about. Again, I'm going to try to keep moving. I don't want to, some of you may be asleep already. So wake up. I'm almost done with this part. Anyway, unit assignments, 100 points per activity. You're going to have 5 of those. We have 5 units. So again, those are 100 points a pop. You're going to have quizzes. They're 10 points apiece. These quizzes are invisible body. I use the term quiz loosely. They're basically just kind of like review activities, review checkoffs. So, again, you can call them quizzes. That sometimes gets students a little bit nervous. They think that they can't use their notes or use other tools to get the right answers. That's not the case. So I know that it says quizzes, but really, again, you want to view these as kind of unit checkoffs or kind of chapter checkoffs. So you can take them unlimited amount of times, which I recommend. If you take one without your notes, just go off of kind of your own knowledge and you don't do so well, that's fine. Go back through and study a little bit of the ones you missed, or just go back through and while you're taking it the second time, go into a different device or open a new window so you can kind of mix and match and cross check what you're doing. So again, in healthcare, we really need you to ask for help, use your critical thinking skills in the clinic. But if you do come to a situation where you're not sure of an answer or not sure of something, we don't want you guessing. Does this say 10 or 100 milligrams? I don't know. We'll split the difference and give them 50. So so if you're unsure if it's a 10 or a 100, you're going to ask, right? You don't want to kill the patient, or you don't want to not give them enough, or you don't want to give them too much, right? Either way, they could have some sort of issue from your thinking, yeah, it looks good, I'll give them that. No, always ask or seek the answer if you're unsure. So the goal is not to stress you out in here. The goal is to really get you searching and seeking and using the tools you have available to get the right answers. So you're going to have 45 of these little activities. So again, it says quizzes. It seems like, holy cow, this guy's wanting 45 10-point quizzes. How do I withdraw? No. That's not the approach. Yeah. And by the way, if you are ever considering, it's just too much, don't, hesitate to email me. Please email me. And there are times when students, they email and they're like, I just can't, and now this has happened in my life. And I give you extensions, I'll give you time. I'm not strict on due dates. So, we'll work something out. And sometimes, even through it all, the student does end up having to withdraw or something like, get an incomplete. But for the most part, I'd say 9 out of 10 emails of, oh my gosh, I need to drop this class. 9 out of 10 students end up finishing with an A or a B and really, uh, you know, coming through. So please, when times are tough, shoot me an email. We'll get you straightened out. I can't emphasize that enough. I've said it 100 times, so I hope by now you believe me and trust me that this is difficult, but it's not going to be anything you can't achieve and overcome, and really learn a lot about what's going on in the human body. So anyhow, you're going to have 45 little 10-point activities to do. So, about 3 per week. We've got 15 weeks. So you get about 3 of those done per week. You're right on task. Okay. And then there's just one final exam at the very end. It's going to be, it's 150 points. In the past, I've made it 75 questions, 100 questions, 125. So it'll be between 75 and 150 questions. I'll put it out there now. As time goes, I'll give you review sheets, and you'll know what to expect when the final comes. But that for now, we're going to focus on the unit assignments and the quizzes. All right, so that's how you're going to get to 1100. Key dates, again, we opened the course January 19th, and it's going to close on April 26th. And that's when everything's due. You want to make sure that everything, all 5 of your unit assignments, all 45 of your visible body activities / quizzes are complete, and then your final exam. So, and again, I'll be checking in constantly with you. So, not constantly, weekly. So anyway, calendar, we don't really have anything. Again, we don't meet face to face. So generally, we're put the pedal to the metal right now and go all the way to the end of April. All right. And then again, the rest of this is college policies on academic honesty, attendance, weapons, stuff that really in an online setting doesn't apply as much. Some of this does, however. If you need tutoring, or if you have any type of need, you need help, your internet isn't working, or you need transportation for some reason, you know we have support for that. We also have disability support services. So if you do have a learning disability, you can certainly reach out, and the DSS will help you with whatever you need. And they're awesome folks over there. And again, if you're not sure, maybe you don't know you have a learning disability. Maybe you don't, maybe you do, but you still think you might need some tutoring. Well, contact me, and I'll get you in touch with the Learning Success Center, which the Disability Support Services is a branch of the Learning Center, the Learning Success Center, the Student Success Center. So anyway, we have all kinds of avenues to get you tutoring or whatever help it is that you might need. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'll put you in touch with the folks that you need to be in touch with. There'll be a course evaluation that'll get sent out at the end of the semester. So I'll talk more about that when it happens. There's some COVID information as well about, if you are on campus, it's the same rules as everywhere. You have to wear a mask and social distance, and, wash your hands, all that good stuff. So, and there's student support services. Again, please reach out to me if you need help, and I'll get you what you need and where you need to go. Okay, so let's get back to Blackboard. You can look through that on your own. It talks about the course outcome summary in the syllabus. I'll pull that up real quick again. you know, you can read through this. This is what the Wisconsin State College Technical College system provides us for teaching you guys. So all of our technical college schools in the system, I think there are 15 or 16 of us around the state, we all follow the same objectives and course outcomes, summary, competencies is all the same. So, if you're ever wondering what we're doing and why we're doing it, that's what this talks about. So I just go through each of the competencies, and this is how I create your course based on these different learning objectives. All right. So anyway, I don't want to belabor that. That you're probably ready to be done anyway, and you're half asleep. So I'm going to wake you up now with going into units. So let's take a quick look at that tab. This is where you're going to maybe spend the majority of your time when you are in Blackboard looking at this unit folder. So I'll go through that in more detail in just a second. That's the unit. This is where we're going to, so we'll circle back to that, spend a little bit more time there. The assignment unit, the unit assignment links, hyperlinks are here. So we'll look at that as well. You can access the unit drop boxes either in the folder under units or under the assignment links. And then under Google Slides, these are all of the slides that go with the unit. So unit 1, these are the 4 slides shows that you're going to want to view as you study, as you do your visible body work, as you do your unit 1 portfolio. These are the slides that you're going to want to view. So if I click on one of those, it'll open up to a Google slide. Now it's in PowerPoint. So if you do have PowerPoint, you can access these that way. Now, what I may do is go through and put them so they're open directly to be a Google slide. I know some students like to have the actual PowerPoint, but you can download that from Google Slides as well. So, but anyway, that's available to you as a PowerPoint, or you can, like I say, you can open it with Google Slides. But that's going to be the kind of the unit 1 group. So you can look through those. And then textbook info, that's just going to have the OpenStax link. So you can go directly into OpenStax that way. You're probably going to want to bookmark that OpenStax, I would imagine, anyway, if you haven't already. So, so we'll take a peek at OpenStax in just a few minutes in a little more detail. And then visible body, same thing. That'll take you right out to the visible body. There is a PDF file. It's, 2,000 pages, but you can get the OpenStax. You can download it as a PDF even if you want. And then here's how to use visible body in the courseware. So again, you can check that out, how to use your OpenStax textbook. So again, I put these in here. You may want to stop here first after you've maybe looked through the syllabus a little bit. Go into textbook info if you have questions or if you're unsure on how to use visible body after today or what OpenStax is and how to use that. I go through some of that as well. All right, so there are also hyperlinks over here to take you right out to OpenStax as well. So there's a lot of ways to get out to OpenStax, and then certainly visible body course link. Okay, so you can get to visible body directly or OpenStax directly from either of these links. I also have a YouTube channel. You can click and get out to that. It's going to have some of my videos from last semester. You can certainly watch those. All that information applies. Okay, it just goes right down the line there, daytime and evening sessions. And then I will also be adding our Wednesday sessions. I'll make a new playlist for this class and I'll link up, that'll be linked up to that YouTube channel link as well. And then Padlets, these are not required, but that's another great website for you to go and view some videos. It's kind of like a wiki page, if you know what a wiki page is. It's kind of like a bulletin board of video links, and then students comment under these videos. So let me open that up. The Padlet homepage will take you to something that looks like this, and you're going to want to stick with the green one. So if you find the units are a little bit spread out, but your unit 1 is going to be 1 through 4 down here. So you could watch any, if you click on one of those Padlets, and it's going to have a series of videos up at the top that I would recommend viewing. So this is these are more study aids. So again, there's so much out there with A&P. So this kind of condenses everything into a little bit easier way to maybe navigate. These are all excellent videos that really provide you with kind of one-stop shopping for whatever topic it is that we're on. So you're not required to comment, but as you can see, a lot of students do. I've had these up and going for only about 6 months. So just in the last 6 months, you can see a lot of students certainly have commented on those. So you're not required to, but feel free to do that if you'd like. And again, any of the green ones are going to be associated with your competencies and with what we do in here. There's a My Grades section, so you can check that out as well. Instructor info. There's a My Grades section as well in Visible Body. So as you're doing your quizzes in Visible Body, it'll grade them and populate them there. And then throughout the semester, I'll just pull numbers out of there and that you've accumulated in Visible Body, and I'll put those in your grade book. So right now, if you click on My Grades, it's going to have probably not a heck of a lot of anything in there at the moment. Okay. So actually, oh, that's under graded. You have to go to all. So under graded, right, there's nothing. But if you go to all, this is where you get to that 1100 mark, and you can see everything in here. So you have your 5 unit assignments, and then your final exam, and then I'll be populating your Visible Body numbers as the semester goes on. All right, instructor info. If you click that, it'll take you out, give you a little bit more info and background about where I'm coming from. Zoom office hours link. If you click that, that's going to take you right into the Zoom room. So if you need to meet with me, just click that and well, email me first, and I'll say, all right, I'm available in 10 minutes, or I'm available in an hour, or whatever. Or we set whatever time we set. This is how you're going to access the Zoom office. And then email again, if if you need to access my email, or I believe you can access your students as well, so your classmates. So if you need to email any of your classmates for any reason, that's where you can go there. Now this last second to last little area, the crash course videos, which are also in my Padlets. This is a YouTube channel that a lot of students really enjoy. I enjoy it myself. It's very informative. They have very good graphics. The crash course guys do other courses as well. So if you have a psychology class or something, there's going to be crash course for that. But anyway, these are excellent. So I highly recommend watching these. They're fairly short, 10, 15 minutes at the most. And so anyway, check those out. Another tool. There's a lot of tools, but it's kind of like Golden Corral. You walk in and a big buffet or Pizza Ranch or whatever, and there's a lot to pick from. And so, so what do? Maybe you take a little piece from each spot, and maybe you don't really like that one, but you really like the chocolate fountain. So you're going to go back to the chocolate fountain over and over, or the soft serve machine, or the pizza station, or whatever. The prime rib station, or they cut it. Oh, yum. So anyway, yeah, maybe your prime rib or your chocolate fountain is the crash course channel. So anyway, it's all and this by all no means is exhaustive either. This is just a small sampling. So anyway, speaking of buffets, Quizlet is a big buffet of info as well. So if you've never heard of Quizlet, click on that. You can scope that out. You can create your own note cards, create your own test banks. There are test banks that already exist. So you can go over in the search and, just type in, anatomy introduction. That's the first thing you guys are kind of doing. Type that in and it'll pop up a whole batch of terms, anatomical terms and illustrations and little quizzes. So anyway, yeah, check out Quizlet. There's a lot of great info in there. And again, you can just type in whatever it is we're working on at the time, and you'll get a whole bunch of good things that come up. And then library course page, this takes you to the Gateway Technical College Library. This is an excellent resource as well. So please use this. I mean, if you're looking for a textbook, you can get them off of here for free from the Gateway Library. Some are virtual and e-text, some are solid or hardcover text, but yeah, this is also an excellent. There's videos in here as well. Articles, websites. So again, please check out this library course page if you ever are, again, unsure of what's going on or what to do. So again, that's the, I don't know, that's the breadsticks station, or the macaroni and cheese station. So that's a good spot too. So anyway, I like it all. So you find what you really enjoy and stick with it. All right, and then the last one here that I threw in there is another e-text called Boundless A&P. Some folks have found some of the stuff in here to be excellent as well. So that's it for the tour of Blackboard, other than some of these basics here at the bottom. These are part of that the college puts in. So these should be in most of your Blackboard shells. If you need help in using Blackboard, how to do a Dropbox, if you need technical support for any reason, and then the Title IX discrimination information. So the next thing I want to do, I know this has gone pretty long, but I do want to touch on just a couple of more items here briefly. Let's go into units. Okay. And I want to, so we're just going to open up Unit 1, which is chapters 1 through 5 in OpenStax. So again, you can optionally click on the Padlet and it'll take you over there. You can look at any of the green ones if you'd like. So that's part. So the directions for each folder, each section are going to be are under each folder. The directions are under each folder. So engage just to kind of get your mouth wet a little bit with the topics. I would highly recommend going to the Padlet. Those first 4 Padlets are going to be associated with Unit 1. And then at the bottom here, there are some folders with OpenStax reviews, OpenStax practice quizzes, OpenStax, and they're all hyperlinks that are going to take you right to OpenStax. So those are in there as well. You're going to want to check those out. Again, that YouTube channel playlist, weekly slides. Again, Unit 1 is going to have, I think, 4 batches of slides. And so that's going to be part 2. So these are basically your checkoffs. How do you go about doing this course? You're going to start at under units, go to Unit 1, and I would seriously start at Padlet, look at some of those videos, and then kind of just go from there. Go right down the line, and then when you get to your visible body course, there are a couple of items that you're going to want to do. So, and again, these are all optional. These are, now the quizzes are not, but these are practice quizzes and other module content. So, so anyway, I'll do a video Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I thought, again, some of you are still waiting on your visible body. So I think next Wednesday's video will be a visible body tour. So in the meantime, kind of your homework between now and next week, next Wednesday, is, look at the syllabus, poke around and get acclimated to Blackboard. Maybe look at the Padlets. Look at a couple of the crash course videos. Just maybe even go into Quizlet if you'd like. But so anyway, just kind of start getting your feet wet, and also get your visible body account set up. And if you're ready to kind of start diving in a little bit, please do. Just read right through here. Getting started with the courseware. Okay. Okay, so right in here, getting started with the courseware. Just click on these. The getting started quiz is one of your 45 quizzes. Okay, and then we get right into intro to the human body, prefixes, suffixes, anatomy, terminology. So again, check all of these out. And then what is required once you're ready for visible body quizzes are, again, then the graded quizzes. So again, this week I'm not going to get into that. I really just want you to focus on just getting acclimated to Blackboard and getting your visible body. And again, if you're ready, then jump right in. But like I say, next Wednesday's video will be a visible body tour. So anyway, that's what's going on with visible body for now. And then apply, you want to complete the unit 1 assignment. And again, those assignments everything's due by April 26th. I wouldn't wait that long. I would try and get this done probably in the next 4 weeks or so. So anyway, this is the unit 1 assignment. This is a Dropbox. If you want to open the assignment, you can open it as a Google Doc, or you can download it as a Word doc, and you can type right in. If you download as a Word doc, it's yours. You can enable editing, type right into it. If you open a Google Doc version, it's going to look like this, and I have it set that you can't edit it, so you wouldn't be able to type into this one. So what you would need to do is go over. You could do a couple of things. You can go over to File, and you can click Make a Copy, and it'll open up, and it'll ask you. I'll click it so you can see what it says. It'll ask you what you want to name it. So I would put your last name in front of that, maybe just something like that, and then hit OK. And it opens up a document for you that you can type right into. And then you can either share that with me, just put it in the Dropbox, the link, the share link. So what you do is come over to share. Once you finish typing in, getting everything in, you click share. I have so many windows open, it's running a little bit slow. So I apologize for, there it goes. Hit share, and then, you can just type you can type Yoakum K right in there, and hit done. You copy the link then and send it to put it in an email, or you can put the link right into the Dropbox. Okay. So how do you put something in the Dropbox? So you just click the unit assignment, and it'll give you the info that you need. Again, you can submit it as a Word doc, Google Doc, JPEG. Students take pictures sometimes of it, a PDF, whatever you want to do. And if you saved it to your computer, you can drag and drop it right into browse local files, and you can just drag and drop it right in, and then hit submit. Now, if you have a link, like if you do it in a Google Doc and you have the link, you can just click write submission, and then you can put the link right in there. Just copy and paste the link and hit submit. Okay, so that's how the Dropbox works. Pretty straightforward. Just don't forget to hit submit. And you'll get an email receipt. So if you've submitted it, you'll get an email message saying that you submitted it. Okay, so unit one assignment, and then the rest of the unit folder again is going to have the visible body course link, and then here are all those OpenStax folders. So chapter one, introduction to the human body, it's going to take you out to visible body, the book, but then these are hyperlinks that'll take you to specific spots in the chapter. Now, I tell students you want to look at the key terms for sure and check those out. But oftentimes, what I recommend, and this may seem counterintuitive, but some students, I recommend it to try it. Some students try it and say, "Oh man, that worked out." Some students try it and say, "Ah, what you know." So again, everybody's different. So but just totally, this is just a recommendation. Most of everything I do is just a recommendation. You can try it. If it doesn't work out, you don't like it, then don't do it anymore. But it says chapter review. I'm going to open the chapter review. Whoa, kind of glitched out. Okay. So chapter review. So it takes me right to a breakdown of the chapter in review form. Now, what I do is I view that, the word view, I view that more or less as a preview. I like to do the chapter review at the beginning. I like to know what I'm getting into. It's kind of like an introduction, condensed introduction for each section. So that chapter review, if you go through and you read through these a little bit, it just gets your mind going and how kind of what direction we're going with each of these sections. So anyway, just a suggestion: chapter review. Maybe you view that as a preview, and then there's some review questions and critical thinking questions. Again, none of these are required. These are just it's just another spot at the buffet. This is again, this for some this is the salad bar, for some this is the dessert bar. I mean, however you want to perceive it. Now, so anyway, there's some questions, review questions you can go through and do as well. Basically, all these interactive link questions, you know, um, you can do. They're not required. It's just more items for you to taste if you'd like. All right. So anyhow, that's under the unit one. That's under each folder, but that's under unit one. That one was all under the introduction, or chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are the first 5 chapters in Visible Body. And then again, there's the link that'll get you out to the Padlets. Again, there are the first 4 Padlets are the ones that you would want to look at. All right, so that pretty much sums it up for now. I don't, again, you've got plenty to kind of look at and think about a little bit. You may want to start working on your portfolio. In fact, let me pull that up so we can take a peek at that real quick, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so and all 5 of these unit assignments or portfolio assignments are going to be similar. You're going to have several definitions to do. Now, again, so the directions say, please type or type preferably a brief description, definition, or anything that will assist you in understanding the term. You can be as concise as you feel you need to be. You don't need to use complete sentences. Okay, so for anatomy, study of structure, or just plain structure. What is it? Okay, that's the anatomy. Physiology, function, study of the function of the body. Okay, so anyhow, those are definitions. How you do them, how you kind of check these off and go through and just relate them to what you're studying. That's what I would do is I would probably open up either my OpenStax or my slides or um, something along those lines, maybe just the Google machine, and I would have a split screen going. I'd have this open, and I'd have my Google machine open, and I'd have OpenStax or whatever pulled up in my Google machine. My PowerPoint slides. Um, uh, YouTube. Okay. You know, if you have the textbook, like a hard textbook, having that out, whatever it might be. Okay, and just start filling these in. It's going back and forth. These are body regions. They go right in line with visible body. When we look at visible body next week, there are some tools in there. There's some apps in there that you're going to want to download. In fact, let me take a quick peek over here. Downloads right here under my apps. Okay. These, you have lifetime access to these. Now that you have access to visible body, you have lifetime access to these apps. So the two I recommend most are these first two: Anatomy Physiology and Human Anatomy Atlas. Okay. So this Anatomy and Physiology app is amazing, as is the Anatomy Atlas for what we're doing in this course. So going back over here, you're going to be able to find definitions right in the visible body as you go through it as well. So there are a lot of ways of finding these terms. Now, there are a couple of questions. This next part is all about the visible body. So again, there are some short answer and some fill-ins and some diagrams. So this is what I'm going to go through in a little bit more detail next Wednesday in the video when I'm going through how to navigate visible body. So anyway, in the meantime, between now and next Wednesday, maybe start working on some of these terms, chapter 1, and in OpenStax, and just again getting yourselves acclimated and toured in Blackboard, and really try to get a good idea of maybe what kind of questions you might have, or kind of how you're going to manage your time too. Some students, this course is self-paced, so uh, everything's open and available to you now. I've had students get this done in 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I've had some students get it done, most students get it done in the allotted time, 14, 15 weeks. I'm just letting you know that uh, you have full access to everything. You can get it done in as quickly or as long as you need. Just know that you have until April 26th. So I know that seems like a long ways away. It's a little over 3 months and a week away. So it's quite a bit of time. So, but don't put things on the back burner and wait until Easter to start working on your stuff. So anyway, that's it for today. Have a great week. And again, email me if you ever have questions. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And we'll go through visible body in a lot more detail. That's really probably, I think, the bulk or the majority of what we do next week. I'll be focusing on a visible body tour and a little bit more than with what I expect with kind of the portfolios and really kind of how to study and look at some of these quizzes in visible body. So anyway, have a great week. Stay warm too.